Zidane, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. Now, I do not say this lightly when I say that Square Enix has truly outdone themselves this time by honestly making a truly amazing anime in the form of The World Ends With You, the animation. Which I just have to say, it's honestly amazing. When this was first announced, I made a video where I was basically explaining that everyone should go and watch it as soon as it comes out so that we can support it and just make sure that Square knows that we enjoy this thing. Because if this does well, we could get amazing other series coming from Square about Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy, and honestly, I think a lot of fans would have absolutely enjoyed that, and probably will enjoy that when it actually does come, if it does come, but that's not the point. The point is that The World Ends With You, the animation, has taken what was made within The World Ends With You itself and has truly made it into its own masterpiece. When I say that it went from great to better to masterpiece, I mean it. The fact is that the game itself, when it was on the 3DS, was good. A lot of people enjoyed it. When it came up to the Switch, again, improvements made it better than we thought it would be. But now with the anime, I'm speechless because it honestly is absolutely amazing. It took some of the greatest aspects of the game and transferred them into animation, improving the art style just enough to make people absolutely fall in love with it even more. To take the music that was already there and just sync it so well with what was going on that it honestly is amazing. The battle music and other songs that were within the original The World Ends With You were great, and putting them in there was a fantastic idea. But with getting them to be merged in, to bring them into the conglomeration, to bring them into the anime world, and make them even better, was honestly just perfect. But then, on top of that, they added new music and changed some songs to make them even better. Honestly, I love Twister. Twister is an amazing song, both in the original game and now in The World Ends With You animation. And honestly, I think that the anime version is way better, but it doesn't detract from the awesomeness that was the original. It's insane to think about. And on top of that, they added the new song Carpe Diem from that is the ED, which just fits perfectly into it. And on top of that, the openings and EDs really exemplify what this show is, and some of the amazing twists and turns that really you feel as you're reading or as you're playing the game. And they purposely really work a lot of the times when you see the openings or the endings, they have these little things throughout them. They're just like, oh, that must be a hint at what's to come. This, that, and the other thing. But the thing is that they use it so well. One of the things that I absolutely find insane about the original game is the fact that the first 7 days are really nothing when it comes to the entire story. Basically, all they are is just that first little glimpse to see what the world has to offer. And it, like I said, it improves on it so much. And it makes you think, oh, these characters are going to be important for the entire game. Shiki and Rain are going to be super important, or Rhyme, I guess, is her actual name. But the point is that those two characters, you're thinking, oh, they are super important to the story of the character, to the story of the series. But in actuality, they are extremely important, but at the same time, are not there. It's actually insane to think about. They're not actually in the majority of the story. Shiki and Rhyme are basically there as people to make sure that Neku and Beat continue their journey and continue fighting to get back their lives, because they're not just fighting for their own lives anymore, they're now fighting for Shiki and Rhyme, and it's amazing. There is so much to it, and I love it. And I think that that's the important thing that people need to understand when going into this series. These first these first two episodes, they may seem like they are going through things very quickly. And I think that that's something that a lot of people need to understand, is that this is going to feel like a very quick anime because of the fact that there are only 7 days for each section. And with that, they go through these days in a very quick succession. Already, the first episode, I think, goes through a lot, actually. And by the end of the second one, they're on the second day, I think. They're 2 days away from the end. So, yeah. Which means that more than likely they will, by the end of the third episode, they're going to be done with the first 7 days, which is honestly a bit insane to me. But it's honestly awesome to know that they are really making this anime feel like the game. Those, like I said, those first 7 days, they go by so fast, and actually are basically setting up the characters and setting up the world, and then of course setting up doing the tutorials so that you're ready for the rest of the game when you're working alongside Joshua and Beat. And I think that there was one other one, but I'm forgetting exactly what day that is. The point is, The World Ends With You is such an interesting story that takes so many things to make it honestly an amazing story that I think a lot of fans are absolutely going to love as it becomes more and more as the story continues. And honestly, I am so excited to see how this story continues. Not only because it has like I said, it has taken the aspects that I and many others have loved from the original games and has converted them seamlessly into an anime that, honestly, I have no idea if it's gonna even have a sequel, or if it is gonna have a sequel, where it's gonna go. Because at this point, the way that it's looking, these episodes are gonna go all the way to the end of the story, which, it feels fast, I know, but it actually makes a lot of sense to a small degree. And I'm really excited to see how they're actually going to play with the entire story. And honestly, just make it work. But on top of that, if this does well, which unfortunately I don't know how well it's going to do, because many fans, basically, the only people that are talking about this anime are the fans. And we're basically the only ones who are going out and saying, hey, watch this show. watch it because you are absolutely going to love it. Even if you've never played the game, you are still going to absolutely enjoy this because it truly does have an amazing story. An amazing, truly awesome artwork, truly awesome music. There is very little competing with it. But on top of that, we also have, all Square Enix fans have another reason that we want this to do well. We want it to do well so that future Square Enix titles can get the same treatment. The same getting animations for their stories. Because many of these stories, like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, do deserve some love. And to actually see them get animated into actual TV shows and movies. Because, honestly, the stories within these, they truly aid, and just seeing them get animated will bring in so many new fans into the series and bring many more into our community to just talk about these things and truly fall in love with the series even more than we already have. This is just the start. With Square now, hopefully they'll see how much we actually enjoy this anime, and we'll realize we can keep going. We can share a lot of these other stories. Like I said, Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, bringing those onto the screen, I think a lot of fans are just gonna fall in love with these amazing stories as they get animated, and as more and more people continue to fall in love with the characters that many of us have fallen in love with over the past many, many years. So, yeah. Like I said, show this amazing anime. The World Ends With You, the animation, some love. Go watch it. And if you're wondering where you can watch it, well, you can either watch it on Hulu or the Funimation app. However, obviously you need a subscription for either of those. Hulu, you just need a basic subscription, but Funimation, obviously you need the only subscription. And obviously, I do have to say, if I were to choose just one of those two, I'd say go for Hulu because it's 1,000 times better. Also, Funimation really needs to fix their app. This is also a calling out to Funimation. Please, for the love of God, please fix your app. There are so many problems with it. Especially, I just, as of recording this video, I just finished watching Last Dungeon Boonies. And yeah, that is a mess on the Funimation app. And that's the only place to watch it. So just fix your app, Funimation. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below, including letting Square know how much you guys love this series, and letting me know how much you love this series as well. Of course, if you have any theories, please leave them down there as well, and make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comments so that we can talk about it in a future video. Of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and ring the notification bell, because apparently only about 20 to 30% of the people who watch these videos are actually subscribed. So please subscribe and ring that notification bell. It really helps a lot more than you may think. And finally, if you do want to support the channels even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our other channels, our social medias, and ways you can support us financially, including our merch store, our books, or my book, and the Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!